Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Anju Methil. I'm a practicing dermatologist at Andheri, Mumbai, and today I'm here to solve your queries regarding skin and hair. Feel free to put your questions down here so that I can help you all better. Okay, I'm yet waiting for the first question to come in. Okay, the first question which has come up to me is that my baby is 10 months old and he often feels warm and gets rashes on his back. Okay, coming to that question is primarily because the skin is it's primarily because it's summertime and generally babies being having sensitive skin, they can get something called as melia, and these are the reddish spots which come on the back. You really don't need to worry about that. What I need to tell you definitely is that if you're massaging the baby with oil, or most people use olive oil or coconut oil or something, avoid any sort of massage because that will aggravate the rashes. And you can probably just put a little bit of calamine lotion which will smoothen down the rash, and the baby will feel better. Good afternoon, Jyoti. I just received a query from you saying that what is the safest way to take care of my newborn baby's skin. Okay, considering your baby is just say probably around 10 to 15 days old, you have to be very careful because the skin is very sensitive. And also when the baby is born, sometimes the baby has a little reddish tinge to the skin, so you really don't need to be too much worried about that because that's normal and that will go off. You might find a change in color of the skin after a few days. Like sometimes a few babies become a little darker and they get a yellowish tinge, and then it sort of settles down. This is a normal process. There's nothing to be worried about it. Taking care of your baby's skin is just regular. When you give your bath to your baby, just use a tepid water, not too hot, not too cold. Summer being a time where it's really very hot and there's a lot of sweating occurring, so for the babies it's best to avoid body massage. That would be really great if you can avoid it in summer times. I know in Indians we believe that massage is one of the best way to take care of babies, but generally according to me, I think summertime you need to avoid any sort of body massage to the baby. And also, since the newborn babies, we tend to put pampers nowadays, and then the babies tend to get rashes over there. So just before you put your pampers, or I try to keep that area absolutely dry. It shouldn't be damp or thing. So you can use a good baby powder, or you can use a rash cream before you apply your pampers, so you don't get rashes around the thighs especially. Tanzia here is asked me a question that baby is 1 month old and she's got tiny pimples on the cheeks and the ear. What face cream do you apply for? Nothing, Tanzia. You don't need to apply any face cream for it because again, applying a cream, especially if it is oily, will block the pores. So don't apply any cream. Just let it be and put some calamine lotion which will act as a soothing factor and take care of it. What you're talking about is generally mild melia which is occurring. That is going to take care once it's the calamine lotion soothes it down. Rohini is asked that she wants to know about sunscreen. Okay, Rohini, sunscreen is very important, especially when you are in summers. Remember, your sunscreen application is protective only for 3 hours, so you need to reapply after 3 hours, one thing. And as far as sunscreens are concerned, you have physical sunscreens and you have chemical sunscreens. Physical sunscreens are the ones which when you apply that, it acts like a shield, so it gives you protection like that. But the only problem with physical sunscreen is that you might get a little whitish tinge with it. So nowadays we get very good sunscreen in the market which are of matte finish and which are a combination of physical and chemical sunscreens, which you can apply. And remember, please apply your sunscreen every 3 hours till 6 in the evening, whether you're going out or whether you're not going out, whether it's summer, whether it's monsoon or winter, sunscreen application is necessary. Okay, Jyoti, another question from you. My baby was overdue and his skin was dry and cracked. What should I do to protect it? Jyoti, when the newborn is born, as a newborn, they normally have a protective sheet around it when they're born. Like you might have found that caseation, when immediately when the baby is born, there's like a whitish film which comes, which is present there. So what you actually need to do is nothing. You just need to apply a good moisturizer over on your baby, which is free, which is not doesn't have any scent, or which is free of any artificial things. A natural hypoallergic moisturizer would be really good for your baby. Try to apply the moisturizer after your after a bath and also at bedtime. That would be good. And use a water-based moisturizer, considering that now it's summer. We have another question over here. Based on the thing, a 3-month-old baby and the skin is very dry. Okay, sometimes you do find skin dry in babies. I mean, we all are born with a particular kind of skin. We can have either dry skin, we can have normal skin, or we can have oily skin. The same way with babies. So what you need to do is basically, as far as possible, baby care should be involved in not stripping out the natural oils of the skin. That is definitely very, very important. So try not to give bath to the baby with very hot water, because that will strip off the natural oils. Also, you don't need to apply something like olive oil or heavy oils over there to moisturize the skin. What you need to actually do is apply a moisturizer which is water based. I'm repeating myself, but yes, it has to be water based to avoid any sort of allergic reactions later. So you need to apply a good moisturizer, water based, which has to be applied at least 2 to 3 times in a day. That should take care of it. Unless until the baby has atopic dermatitis, which is a very severe form of dryness, then the baby can present with rashes from maybe around the arms, or around the forearms, or on the lower part of the leg. Then you have to go to a dermatologist and take care of that. Rohini is here with another question. She's got a 2-year-old son, and should I start a sunscreen for him as we go out a lot in sun? So far I've been going in the car and planning to take him on a bike. So should I apply a sunscreen? Nowadays, Rohini, we do get sunscreens even for kids. So they are specific for kids, and you need to apply a sunscreen definitely. And you can pick up one which is specific for the kids and apply them again. A repeat application after every 2 to 3 hours if you're continuously out. And also, Rohini, if you're planning to take him to a water park or maybe into a swimming pool or something, then you need to reapply the sunscreen every 1 hour. So yes, sunscreen is definitely required even if your kid is very, very young. I've been using Sebamed powder. Is it safe? Yes, it is very, very safe. In fact, I'm a big fan of the Sebamed products, especially the moisturizer and the cleansers, which are very, very baby friendly and safe. Okay, I'm having one question from Neeta, is how to deal with diaper rashes. Diaper rashes, most of us face this problem, and especially in my practice, I get a lot of babies with diaper rashes because nowadays, from what the traditional used to be, the cotton undergarments have been shifted to Pampers, and Pampers sometimes tend to irritate the skin. So first of all, once the skin is moist, it can always get rashes. So see that the area around where that area is absolutely dry thing, you need to clean it properly. The baby needs to be cleaned properly after whatever maturation or defecation, and dry that area and apply a diaper. You get a rash cream, which is nothing but zinc oxide, which basically prevents rashes. So every time you put a diaper, before that you apply the cream, that will take care of your diaper rashes. Okay, I have another question. My child is 3.5 years. Can you suggest a good shampoo and lotion? Lotion, I believe you're asking for the moisturizing lotion. So there are many products which are available. You can use a water-based moisturizer, either Cetaphil or Sebamed products, which are good as a moisturizer. And shampoo, again, it has to be mild shampoo. 3.5 months you said, so that probably there could be a cradle cap. Cradle cap is a little bit of scaling which is present on the scalp of babies, so you can probably use something like a Nazral shampoo, 1%, not 2%. 2% is for adults and 1% is for babies, which will help you take care of the cradle cap as far as this goes. Trupti again has asked for soft and fair skin for babies. Trupti, unfortunately, we all are born with a color and we can't really change it. So you have to basically be happy with the color which is born, with what your baby is born. As far as keeping the baby's skin soft, babies in general have soft skin, so that's why we call it as baby soft skin. Unless until your baby is suffering from severe dryness, that would make your skin of the baby a little rough, so you need to apply moisturizer and that should do the trick, nothing much. And also when you're using your soap or whatever you're using for bathing for the baby, has to be baby sensitive and has to be a moisturizing thing, a moisturizing aspect to it, so that it retains the softness of the skin. Priya has asked me what's the best way to keep the baby skin fresh and healthy. I think I've already answered that, but again coming back to it is that just keep the baby clean and use mild products as far as your for bathing is concerned, and change your clothing regularly so that the baby is not damp with the damp, and that's it. I think use a good moisturizer. Now Meena has asked me, my niece is troubled from dry skin and he is 3 years old. I know there are a lot of queries regarding dry skin coming, and I guess it's more to do now with the kind of conditions we are living in. Also, because of the atmospheric conditions and because of the change of weather, babies do tend to get dryness, and or allergic reactions, which we call as atopic dermatitis. If there's severe dryness, then we call it as atopic dermatitis. So taking care of it is primarily mild cleansers, good moisturization. This is the thing which will take care of it. And don't worry, Meena, most of the time the atopic dermatitis, if your child is suffering from it, settles by itself by the time the baby is 9 to 10 years old. So it's just a temporary phenomena. Meanwhile, till that is happening, you need to take care with good moisturization. Next question is again, what do you do for dry skin? Okay, I'm not answering that anymore. We've already gone through it multiple times, and I'm sure, Neeta, you heard it already. So Arpita here has asked that my baby is 5 months old and has got dry patches on skin in spite of using a moisturizing lotion, and I use coconut oil for massaging. What should I apply? Arpita, if your baby has yet got rashes in spite of moisturizing well, what I suggest is that first of all, as far as the cleansing is concerned, don't use your soap or thing every day. Use it alternate day, so that would prevent the loss of transepidermal water loss from the skin. And if the baby yet has rashes, then probably you need to go to a dermatologist, where a protective measure cream would be given after examination, or a mild steroid might be required to take care of the rashes if it is very severe. Now, Neeta has asked, what is the treatment of baby acne? Is that what you're asking? Neeta, you really don't need to do anything for baby acne. You have to just use a mild calamine lotion, because baby skin is too sensitive and we can't really put any antibiotic solutions or anything which is very strong to the baby's thing. So calamine lotion will act as a drying agent also and will help you dry off in the baby acne. Vichi has asked for what should I look for while selecting a baby lotion or shampoo or soap. Again, Vichi, you need to check for the pH. The normal pH of our skin is 5.5. So your products should be around that pH as far as your soap and your lotions and shampoos thing, to maintain the normal pH of the skin. You don't want to use too big harsh product to strip the skin of the natural oils and make the skin change its pH. So check for the pH of the thing, and also use water-based products which will prevent any sort of melia or blocking of the pores. Rohini, okay, what do I do in case of diaper rashes, and which medicine to apply? You get a diaper cream which contains zinc oxide, and that's the medicine to be applied for diaper rashes. My baby is 18-month-old and has diaper rash since 2 weeks. It reduces but again comes back. If the baby is suffering from diaper rash since past 2 weeks, I'm sure the baby is going to be really cranky, and it does hurt and the area becomes red and erythematous. So what you need to do is, first of all, stop using the diaper for some time. Maybe shift to the old methods of using cotton undergarments, and you have to keep that area dry. You can't have it moist or damp, otherwise it is going to keep popping up again and again. Use a good moisturizer in like anti-rash cream to reduce it. If it is not settling with that, then I think you need to show it to a dermatologist, show your baby to a dermatologist. Maybe after examination they will be able to help you best. What sort of soap is best for baby face? Priyanka, I wouldn't really suggest application of soap on a baby's face. You can just wash with plain water. Don't use a soap on the baby's face. How to deal with very light dry lips, neither what you can do is apply a good lip balm or a moisturizer or Vaseline for very dry lips. In case the home remedies, this is probably while sleeping you can apply ghee and sleep off with that, and even honey works very well for dry lips. So in the daytime when you're out, you can probably apply a good lip balm, Vaseline or lip balm, and in the night time you can just apply a little bit of ghee or maybe honey, which will help you take care of dry lips. Nowadays we get lip balms with even sun protection, so that would also help you, because again with very dry lips and if you're not using one of those lip balms which has a sun protection, it can become dark. So to prevent that, use a lip balm which has a sun protection. How to deal with baby rashes. Okay, we'll come back to the same question again. Moisturizing, put a rash cream, keep the area damp. That sorry, not damp, keep the area dry, and that should take care of the baby rashes. Ravi has asked, is powder bad to be used for baby skin? And does that make skin dry? Ravi, it depends upon what kind of powder you're using. Primarily, you can't use the same powder which the adults use. So you do have to, you can use a powder, but as far as it's baby products and it's baby friendly, it should be okay. A few areas of the baby need to be kept dry, especially around the buttock area and around the gluteal folds. So that area you can apply a powder to keep it dry. The baby skin looks yellow, and is that serious? Jyoti, the baby skin initially, when a baby is newborn, you will find a few color changes occurring in the baby skin. That's because of the bilirubin levels which will go up just after the baby is born. Nothing to be worried. If the bilirubin levels are very high, then I'm sure your pediatrician will ask you keep the baby in a special kind of an incubator where the light is given to take care of the color of the yellowish color of the skin. If the bilirubin is not too high and the skin just looks yellow, it just recovers within a couple of days, so we don't really need to be worried about that. What to do for rashes which appear suddenly on different parts of hands and face? Considering you're asking for yourself and not for the baby, the rashes which occurs suddenly on the hands of things could be an allergic reaction which is occurring. Now, allergic could be to anything. It could be probably to something which harsh clothing which you're wearing. Maybe if you're wearing a woolen clothing or something, you can get a rash. Or if you're using some sort of a product which is not agreeing with your skin, so you can get a rash on that. So if that is occurring and it is an allergic reaction, then you need to take anti-allergics. Use a mild anti-allergic cream which will help you take care of the rashes of the hands and the face. Okay, Mr. Ansari has said that my skin is oily. Please suggest any face wash. Okay, the oily skin is basically because in summers your oil secreting glands are working overtime, so that's why you'll find your skin a little more oily now. What you need to do is your face wash should contain something like a glycolic acid or maybe a salicylic acid, which will help you take care of the excessive oiliness, and that's how your skin will look normal. Can I apply a sunscreen lotion to my 1.5-year-old daughter? Yes, you can apply. As I said, you get specific sunscreens nowadays for kids which are kid friendly, and you can apply them. There's not a problem. Then the next question is from Geeta. Just 1 minute. My daughter's skin is very dry. Which products should I use to deal with it? Use a mind cleanser. If you're using soap which can like something like a Dava Pears or something, which helps in moisturizing the skin. What I need you to do is limit your soap factor to alternate day. And only the private areas and underarms can be used. You can use the soap every day over there, otherwise limited to alternate days. Use a good moisturizer. Moisturize at least like around 3 to 4 times in a day if it is very dry. That should take care of it. And you in your diet introduce a few foods which will make your skin naturally oily. So these few foods are almonds, walnuts in the diet, which will help your skin become naturally oily. Avocado is one thing which can be used even topically. If your daughter's skin is very dry, you can just avocado has a good amount of oil in it, so introduce that in the diet. And also it can be used topically if required, if you want a home remedy for it. Neetu is asking whether I can give cow's milk to my 1-year-old baby. I think Neetu, that a nutritionist will be the best person to answer that question rather than me. That is how I'm not the best person for it. Or probably we'll have someone, a live session with a nutritionist later in some time, and they will be able to answer your question very well. The other one is that my baby is 6 months old and he's actually fair, but the exposed areas has become dark. That's pretty normal because the exposed areas are the ones which are getting the UVA and UVB from the sun, and you will find tan, they being more tan than the areas which are well covered. So if you need to apply a good sunscreen. Secondly, when the baby is going out to play, try to use cotton clothes and which reflect light, something like lighter colors like white and all, rather than the darker clothes which will absorb light. And also make the baby, though it's summers, try to make the baby wear full sleeves or something, so that can prevent the tanning of the exposed areas. How to take care of the skin during humid summer? Yes, I know we sweat a lot, especially in Mumbai, considering the humidity. Humidity is one thing which is responsible for a lot of fungal infections. So you need to take care of that, as in if you finding that you're sweating too much, then definitely you need to take bath at least twice in a day. Avoid being in the same clothes which are wet, especially like if you come on for gymming or if you've gone out to play. Don't stay in the same clothes, because that will be another reason why you will be getting the fungal, you can get a fungal infection. Use an antifungal powder when you're going out, especially when you know you're going to be sweating, so that can take care of your problem of preventing any skin rash or fungal infections during summers, humid summers basically. Hi Vidhi, how can I help you? You has asked for, my son is affected with rashes regularly on his face. I need to know what kind of rashes are they. Are they just reddish rashes, or are they something which appears like pimples, or are they appear whitish? See, generally from what I suspect it would be more like Melia rugosa, which is reddish color rashes, small rashes which appear like pimples on the face. And if it is occurring primarily in this season, which is summer, it's again because heat related. So just make your wash your son's face regularly with plain water. Not necessarily you have to use a face wash every time. So that will have a little cooling effect, and you can use a calamine lotion to take care of rashes on his face. You can apply the calamine lotion when he's going down also to play, because that will act as a sunscreen also, and probably at night to give the soothing effect. What is the best way to treat dry skin on scalp? Dry skin on scalp could be a form of seborrhea, which is primarily dandruff. So you have basically which is dry type of dandruff and which is flaky kind of dandruff, which when you put your hand in your scalp and sort of rub it, you'll find it falling down. Or you can have dandruff which is large flakes and which is little sticky kind. So what you primarily need to use is a good anti-dandruff shampoo. If it is there's a lot of flakiness involved over there, which will take care of the dandruff, and use it like twice in a week. And also one thing I would require you to do is keep the shampoo on for at least 5 minutes before you wash it off, so that will have an additional effect. Jaya is asking, my son is 10 months old and his neck area is quite dark, but he's fair otherwise. We don't expose him to sun, but then what is the reason? Generally, if it can be acanthosis, which is a darkening of the skin occurring around the neck area. It can occur around the underarm area and in the thigh area, which is occurring because of hereditary factor, or it can be because of insulin resistance. Since he's only 10 months, I wouldn't suggest you to do anything very actively about it. If the only thing, if he's a little overweight, then this is sometimes it comes more prominent. So if you find that the baby is a little overweight, it will gradually settle down once your baby is back to the normal weight chart. So you really don't need to do anything much about it. They appear reddish. I think this is a continuation of the same question which we had in thing, that my son has regular rashes on the face. So I'm sorry I can't read your name because it's in a different language. So I guess what you're talking about, the reddish rashes on the face, would be either because of dryness, if the baby is a very sensitive skin. So sometimes they do get this rashes either on the face or on the arms or on the body. Try to avoid any exposure to dust, especially as far as because your baby is sensitive and has got sensitive skin. Don't have any heavy upholsteries in your house, especially if you have heavy curtains, or even if your sofa has got very heavy upholsteries, then your dust mite tends to accumulate over there, and then the baby tends to rub the cheeks around on the sofa or goes around, and that could lead to an irritant reaction or an allergic reaction. If it is very severe, then maybe you need to apply a mild steroid cream, which will be done on the recommendation of a dermatologist only. Use a good moisturization. I am applying Dermadew soap and cream. Dermadew soap is good, but as I said, I wouldn't recommend soap on the face. Plain water is fair enough, and you can use a good moisturizing cream that would also help. Wapang here has said that my son has white patches on his face. What is to be done? Generally, in young kids, we do find white patches. Now, these white patches could be because of nutrition deficiencies, because many a times you find the kids nowadays addicted to junk food and they don't get that sufficient nutrition. That could be one of the causes, or it could also be because of because of sensitive skin and getting allergic reactions to that, and that's how the white patches come. There's a condition called as P. alba, which is whitish patches on the skin, which is because of the allergic reaction. So you just need to use a mild steroid-based cream, which will help there. Sometimes I've also seen white patches coming because of excessive exposure to the sun. So those are called as polymorphous light eruptions. Then if it is because of that, you will find small whitish dots which come initially, and then they merge together to form a big whitish patch. If it is something like that, then it would be because of sun exposure. So then you have to apply a good sunscreen and a mild some cream called as tacrolimus, which will help in taking care of these white patches. How often can I reapply creams? It means can be reapplied in either 12 hourly or depending upon the condition of the skin. If it is a moisturizing cream you're talking about, you can apply it 2 to 3 times in a day. If your skin is very dry, you can even apply it more often. So there's not a fixed rule as when you can apply the creams or how often you can apply the creams. It depends upon the skin, how oily or how dry it is for you to apply the cream. Again, the creams can be a water-based cream or it can be a oil-based cream depending upon your skin type. So the next one is Ravi asking, I'm using Sebamed soap for my skin. Is it good? Yes, it is pretty good. It's one of the products which have been recommended for skincare for babies. You can definitely use it, not a problem. Jaya is asking, I have a 10-month-old son and has rashes in the diaper area. Rashes disappear but have left black patches. I'm using coconut oil and before nappy cream, but no effect in reducing the dark patches. Jaya, the dark patches is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which is a normal healing process. We being dark skin will heal with darkening of the skin if there is a damage to the skin which has occurred. You don't really need to worry about it too much because your baby is only 10 months old. Gradually these rashes will fade off. It may take around 3 to 6 months, but there's nothing which you have to be really worried about. It was going to be gone in a few months time, not to worry. Okay, I'm glad, Vapan, that my suggestion has helped you. Thank you, and thank you for asking your questions. And I have one question here which says, my son has got rashes on his bums and he's 4-year-old. How can we avoid this? I think what you're talking about here is the bumps which normally come in the buttock region is keratosis pilaris, which is normally seen either in the elbow area or in the knees area or in the buttock areas, which is commonly seen over there. It is pretty common in babies also. Sometimes there is a condition which similarly they can occur in vitamin E deficiency also. So what I would suggest is take your child to a pediatrician and get him checked. If it is because of vitamin E deficiency, you can just reintroduce vitamin E into his diet, and also you have medications and they will be gone within no time. Now Preeti here has asked, I'm using baby wash from last 3 years for my daughters. Is there something to improve complexion? Preeti, baby is only 3-year-old. Don't be worried about the complexion right now. The complexion will improve as she grows older. There is nothing you need to do right now to improve the complexion. We can take care of it when she is a little more older, after she's 16 or 18 years old. Yes, you can probably just use a sunscreen which will prevent tanning of the thing and prevent worsening of the complexion. But right now, to make your child fairer, I don't think that's a good option. Manisha here wants to ask what type of clothes would be good for humid climate of Mumbai for a year-old baby when the child is taken out in the evening. Manisha here wants to you need to basically use clothes which have good aeration. So cotton clothing are the best. You need soft clothing which will not irritate the baby's skin, and also you don't need to wrap the baby out totally when you're taking the baby out. You can probably just cover with a mild cotton clothing as a cotton blanket or a cotton sheet rather than a blanket, which will help protect the baby from mosquitoes or something when you're taking the baby out. But other than that, I think simple cotton soft clothing is best. Now Varsha is asking, does Sebamed cream used for my 4-year-old daughter, does it keep the skin soft? Yes, if you're using a moisturizing cream, any moisturizing cream will keep the skin soft. So I think it's absolutely an good option. There's not a problem about that. Shubham here is asked how to remove chickenpox spots. Okay, Shubham, if your child is suffered from chickenpox and if you're talking about the blackish spots which are there, they will fade off over a period of time. You can take your child to a dermatologist and they can prescribe a little lightening cream which will help you take care of the chickenpox spots. If the spots are deep and if they have left a scar, then there is not much you can do about it. Not for the child at least. Maybe when the child gets older, then we can take care of the chickenpox scars which are there by laser or something. But right now, no. One more question is asked: Is my is 1 year old? My child is 1 year old. 1 month old and she's got tiny pimples on the cheeks and on ear. Can I apply face cream for her? No, you cannot apply face cream for her because she's already got pimples, and especially not a cream which will lead to more oiliness of the skin. You just need to apply a calamine lotion for her and that should be okay. Sometimes the skin you can, those tiny pimples may be melia, so this melia will also settle. You don't really need to do anything much for it. Another question here is my daughter is 1.5 year old and she's very fair, but when she goes outside her skin looks dull and damaged. I want a good sunscreen for my baby. Okay, see, the tanning effect is going to occur because that is a normal protective phenomena of the skin. Your skin is going to get tanned when you go out. The first initial tanning occurs when you expose your skin for 20 minutes into the sun and it gets tanned. So you can use sunscreens which are specific for baby care, which will help in protecting your child's skin. Also take care of the clothing. As I said, use cotton clothing, something which reflects light rather than absorbs light, so light color clothing, and something which covers the head, even though I know it is summer. And then thing, my 12-month-old baby is loves bubbles in bath. That's very nice. Even my baby loves bubbles in the bath, but is prone to dry skin and eczema. Should I avoid bubble bath completely? No, you cannot make the baby so disappointed by removing the bubble bath completely. But yes, maybe decrease the frequency of the bubble bath because we don't want to make the skin too dry. You are giving a bubble bath to the baby, what you do is use a good moisturizing cream, so that will compensate if the dryness is occurring in the skin. That should take care of it, Rashi. Can I take bath during chickenpox? Chickenpox is a viral infection actually, and I know there was a lot of myth about it that you couldn't go out, you shouldn't take bath and all, but you can do absolutely everything what you want to do as when you were normal. So yes, you can take bath. There's no problem in taking bath. Maybe the only problem is that while using your soap or something, you can burst a couple of the vesicles which have come due to chickenpox, but you can do your normal things. There's no issue about it. The only thing you have to be careful is about spreading the chickenpox to another person. So if someone who hasn't got chickenpox comes in contact with you, can develop chickenpox, but someone who has developed a chickenpox in his lifetime will never get chickenpox again. So that's the only thing which you have to be careful about. Weber has asked what's the best way to dye skin for toddlers' feet. Yes, that is very good question, Weber. Weber, most of the time we do tend to moisturize the baby's skin and we forget the palms and the feet. And you do need to moisturize that too, because sometimes you do get dryness over that. And after moisturizing, I think in our country we do have a tendency to make the babies wear socks, so that will also help in retaining the moisture, the moisturizing effect of the moisturizer. But don't apply the socks immediately. What you need to do is let the moisturizing cream have its effect. So maybe put the socks after 15 to 20 minutes of application of the moisturizing cream if you need to. My baby is 3 years old. Day by day, his color is fading. Can you suggest any cream or sunscreen? How can I regain my baby's color? I've already answered this question. Just use a sunscreen, a friendly sunscreen, and that should take care of it. Hi Nirza, hello. And please, the question you've asked me is please suggest medication for medication, okay? Medication for itchy scalp in toddlers. Itchy scalp is because of the cradle cap which is present in toddlers. You need to use a mild shampoo which will help you. We have shampoos like Methil for babies, and you even have Sebamed shampoos for babies, which can take care of the itchy scalp. I'm using another next question is I'm using a cycloweed 800 ointment and taking a cycloweed 800 milligrams tablets for chickenpox. Is it fine or any better suggestion? If you're actively suffering from chickenpox, yes, you can use the tablets, but 800 milligrams is not sufficient. You will probably need to use 800 milligrams 5 times in a day for taking care of your chickenpox. That is the ideal dosage. Your chickenpox should settle in around 2 weeks time. 7 to 10 days is where the active lesion is there, and you need to apply the ointment on the scabs till the last scabs fall off. So that is how you can prevent yourself from spreading the chickenpox to anyone else. The next question here is that my baby is what should I do in case of diaper rashes? Very common we face. That is the same question about the diapers. I think we have use a good diaper cream, prevent humidity, and keep the skin very dry. That is what you need to do. Another question here is I am not sure. Please help which soap to use. I think you were trying to ask which soap to use, as I have delivered in 8 months ago and the baby's skin is dark in color. The color cannot be changed with the use of soap. So don't try to change the color of your baby with the use of any creams or with any soaps. The color will change gradually. It takes some time for the normal color to come in. So just be patient and be happy with what the color which the baby is blessed with. Don't try to do anything to it. The next question here is my baby is having scar due to a small injury, and could you suggest any creams to fade away the scars? You get generally what we have in scars is PIH, which is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which occurs if any injuries occurred, or if you have a big scar, then you can use creams which have silicone gel in it. That will help in settling the scars if the scars are intensive. The next one here is Sagar. There are cracks on my baby's skin on his hands and legs. How can I cure it? Sagar, for babies, only moisturizing is a mantra. So you have to keep on moisturizing, moisturizing, moisturizing. There's nothing more you can do about it. As far as possible, avoid any medications for the applications on babies. Unless and until they're very severe, then take to a good pediatrician or a dermatologist who will be able to help you out with this. Okay, I'll just take a little bit of break here now.
This one.
Okay, we have a question from Vicky Verma here that my son is a lot into running around while playing and gets rashes in bums, which is the best way to avoid. The rashes in the bums wouldn't be because of playing, it probably would be because of the friction which is occurring, probably especially if he's wearing clothing which is very rough, or because of constant sitting and getting up, where the constant friction of the skin is occurring with the clothing. So just see to it that when he goes down to play, make him wear cotton clothing with soft material and which are loose, so that especially don't avoid denims in summer season, so that there is not too much friction and the rashes do not occur. Vidhi is asked here, for my newborn baby, skin on the face that gets dry and then becomes bumpy, what would you recommend? The skin, because it's dry, that's why it has become bumpy and rough. So first, avoid using any soap on the face. Wash your face with only plain water. Use a good moisturizer. That should take care of it. If that doesn't work, then maybe you will need to go to a dermatologist who will prescribe you a mild moisturizing cum steroid cream. I have 15-month-old daughter with dull complexion. What can I do to make her fair? I really don't know why all Indians want to make their kids fair, but I think there is nothing you can do right now to make the dull's complexion fair. Please don't try. You'll just land up making the skin irritated, and then the skin is going to start crying and screaming and you are going to get rashes. So please don't put anything. Jyoti here has asked rainy season precautions which is to be taken. Okay, rainy season is again humidity. Excessive humidity is what is going to lead to chances of fungal infections which can occur. So basically have bath regularly, at least 2 to 3 times in a day. Avoid using clothings which are wet or humid or sweat related. Use an antifungal powder. Rainy seasons, the another problem which you can occur is you can get fungal infections of the feet also. So even the feet need to be taken care. Keep the feet dry. Use proper shoes. That is what you have to do, and use a antifungal cream if you start developing even a smallest rash. Now the next one is okay, rainy season precautions for my 6-month-old baby skin. The 6-month-old baby skin has to be taken care in the same way. Basically you have to avoid any humidity thing, so you have to keep the skin dry. That is what you have to take care, nothing else. Mr. Chakravarti has asked, I'm already using rash cream and baby lotion and I am really happy with the Sebamed products. Can talcum powder also be used in 3.5-month-old baby over these products? Please don't use any talcum powder. No, you need to use products which are baby friendly. Another question here is, hi Dr. Anju, hi Srinivas, my little baby skin is very hairy. What should I do to reduce hair? Srinivas, most of the time if your baby is just born, those hair are Lanago hairs and a few of them will fall off automatically. So sometimes you just find when the baby is around 6 months or 1 year old, most of the hair which were present at birth have fallen off. If not, we have a lot of measures nowadays, but not now. Only when the baby has grown up to be 16 or 18, that's where you can think of reducing hair with them. We have permanent hair reductions nowadays, so don't worry, your baby is going to be absolutely fine when the baby grows up. Just don't bother about the hairy part now. Thank you, Jyoti, for asking your question. I'm glad that it helped you. That's really nice of you to thank me. Now the next one is here from Shri. It says that my baby's skin tone was uneven on her face and was lighter than body. How can I get an even skin tone? Generally, there is a color difference, maybe a shade or two difference between the skin tone of the face and skin tone of the body. Sometimes you might find the skin tone of the face being better, lighter, and sometimes you might find the skin tone of the body being lighter. So that's a normal thing. You really don't need to be worried about getting an even tone and out of that. It's something what we are born with, so it's an absolutely normal phenomena. Shubham here is what to eat during chickenpox. Chickenpox is not related to your nutritional factor. It's a viral infection. So you can eat whatever you are comfortable with eating. Generally, because of the viral infection, and sometimes some people get fever also during chickenpox, they tend to have, it's better to have lighter foods. But as such, if you want to eat something, you can eat anything and everything. It's not a problem at all. And the next one is no, you don't need to avoid anything hot. That is okay. You can take hot, cold, everything. Your normal food is absolutely fine. Another question from Mr. Chakravarti is about the talcum. Not everyone, not even months, especially for babies, like if Sebamed has one. I said you could use talcum powders. I mean, you shouldn't use baby friendly products. So if you're talking about a talcum powder which you use for adults, no, but baby friendly products are absolutely fine. Okay, Fatima here is telling me thank you, and Fatima, I'm very glad I've been able to help you. Srinivas, I'm glad I've been able to help you too. And for any other queries, I think feel free to post on this page. I would gladly reply to them whenever possible. I think we are nearly reaching the end of it, so we have a last few questions now here. Okay, just thing. My son's foreskin has not come down is one question which is asked me. I think you need to take your son to a pediatrician or to a surgeon who will basically check your son and then guide you accordingly. And later we might have a pediatrician on the same page, so maybe you can ask the question to that time. Okay, bye bye for now, and in case you need to ask any other questions in future, feel free to contact on this page, or you can contact me in my clinic, the details of which will be given on this page. Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure talking to all of you, and I hope it's been helpful. Thank you.